Hi, my name is Jeanette Orozco. I'm going to be talking about the Woodcock Johnson III, also known as the WJ3. The Woodcock Johnson III is a norm reference test of achievement. The authors are Richard W. Woodcock, Kevin S. McGrew, and Nancy Mather. The test was published in 2002 by the Riverside Publishing Company. Um, there is a Woodcock Johnson 4 that is now being used instead of this one, but for the purposes of this video, I will be demonstrating the Woodcock Johnson 3. The Woodcock Johnson 3 is tested on ages 2 through 90. This test helps determine if one qualifies for special education services. As a teacher in special ed, you will be administering this test for initial and triennial evaluations. For older adults, this test is usually administered to help check for Alzheimer's. Normative data for this test was gathered from 8,818 individuals in over 100 geographically diverse communities. This sample included individuals from 24 months to above 90 years old. It included a sample of students from kindergarten, preschool, K through 12, college and university students, both undergrad and grad students, and an adult sample. The Woodcock Johnson 3 is used for clinical, research, and educational purposes. The test measures 4 academic domains, which are reading, written language, academic knowledge, and mathematics. A Woodcock Johnson 3 kit includes 2 easel test books. The first one is the standard test book, tests 1 through 12. The testing kit that I have right now is Form A. The second easel test book that I have for the Woodcock Johnson is the extended test book, which are subtests 13 through 22. The testing kit also comes with the technical manual, the examiner's manual, a subject response booklets, scoring guides. So you would just put these on top of the student's response booklet when you are scoring them. An audio recording tape, a computer scoring program, which I didn't have access to, the test record, and examiner training workbooks. So for each student that you assess, you would have to have a new test record and a new subject response booklet. And you cannot make copies of these. There are a total of 22 subtests in the Woodcock Johnson 3 Test of Achievement. Subtest 1 is letter word identification. This measures basic reading skills. For example, the teacher will show the students a list of words on the book. The teacher will then point to the word and ask what it is. Subtest 2, reading fluency, helps measure a person's ability to read simple sentences and decide if the statement is true or false. For this subtest, you will need a timer. Subtest 3, story recall, measures aspects of oral expression. The test has the students listen to a story via audio recording, then recall as many details as they can. Subtest 4, understanding directions, focuses on listening comprehension. The students will use an audio recording to follow directions by pointing at different objects. Subtest 5, calculations, focuses on math calculation skills and measures the ability to perform mathematical computations. So, for example, they would be answering different addition and subtraction problems. Subtest 6, math fluency skills, measures the ability to solve simple math problems quickly, such as addition, multiplication, and subtraction. This subtest is timed. Subtest 7, spelling, measures basic writing skills. It measures the ability to write orally presented words. For example, the students would use their booklet to write in different spelling words that are given by the administrator. Subtest 8, writing fluency, requires a person to formulate and write simple sentences. This subtest also requires a timer. Subtest 9, passage comprehension, measures reading comprehension. For example, the student will hear a sentence, then be required to point to the picture that correlates with the phrase that was given. Subtest 10, applied problems, measures math reasoning skills. For example, the student will hear a problem. They would recognize the procedures needed to be followed and then perform simple calculations to solve that problem. Subtest 11, writing samples, measures written expression skills. For example, the student will be required to write about 3 things they would do on vacation. Subtest 12, story recall delayed, is only administered if you have already administered test 3 previously. That is the end of the standard battery. The extended battery begins on subtest 13. Subtest 13 is word attack. This subtest requires basic reading skills such as applying phonic and structural analysis skills to the pronunciation of unfamiliar words. Subtest 14, picture vocabulary, measures oral expression skills. Subtest 15, oral comprehension, measures listening comprehension skills. Subtest 15 also requires an audio tape. Subtest 16, editing, measures basic writing skills. Subtest 17, reading comprehension, measures reading comprehension skills. Subtest 18, quantitative concepts, measures math reasoning skills. Subtest 19, academic knowledge, includes 3 subtests in itself. That is science, social studies, and humanities. Subtest 20, spelling of sounds, is a measure of spelling ability. This test also requires an audio tape. Subtest 21, sound awareness, is a measure of phonological awareness. This requires an audio tape. Lastly, subtest 22 is punctuation and capitalization. This measures written English formatting skills. The Woodcock Johnson III is scored according to which subtest you are administering. In the test record book, the directions are located on each subtest. The majority of the subtests require a basal to be established. A basal is usually established when a person gets 6 problems correctly consecutively. There are some that have a basal of 4 or basal of 3, but the majority of them have a basal of 6. Most of the subtests also require a ceiling of 6 incorrect responses, so that is where you stop for each subtest. Most subtests score 1 point for every correct answer and 0 for every incorrect answer. Raw scores are then inputted into a computer scoring program, and after inputting the scores, the computer will give a score report that has information regarding the student's age and grade equivalency. Both the standard battery and extended battery were co-normed. This means that the normative data was based on a single sample. The Woodcock Johnson III was set to represent the U.S. population from ages 2 through 90. There was 8,818 individuals from a variety of communities in the United States selected to represent the United States population. So according to the technical manual, the reliability characteristics of the Woodcock Johnson III meet or exceed basic standards for both individual placements and programming decisions. Of the median test reliabilities reported, most are 0.8 or higher, and several are 0.9 or higher. Now I'm going to do a live demonstration on how to administer the Woodcock Johnson III. So before you even begin to test the student, you want to make sure that you are fully prepared. Make sure that you have the test record, the standard battery, pencils, the subject response booklet, and audio tapes. You also want to make sure that you have a timer next to you for the timed subtests. Test 1, letter word identification. This is letter P. Find P down here. Point to the E. Here are some letters. I want you to point to the letter I say. Point to the B. 2, reading fluency. Start here and read as many sentences as you can. Decide if the answer is yes or no. After you get to the bottom, go to the top. There are 3 pages. Keep working until I tell you to stop. Work as fast as you can without making mistakes. If you do make a mistake, cross out the ones you do not want. If you have trouble reading a word or cannot think of the answer, skip that one and go on to the next one. You will have 3 minutes. Tell me if you finish before I say stop. Subtest 3, Story Recall. You are going to hear a story from these headphones. First, you will hear a single beep. Then, the story will begin. When the story is over, you will hear a double beep. Then, you tell the story back to me. Julie likes to catch butterflies. Then she lets them go. Tell me the story. Mary has a dog. He loves to ride in the car, but he hates to take a bath. Tell me the story. Mary, what does she have? What does Mary have? That is an incorrect demonstration for the subtest. Subtest 4, Understanding Directions. You'll be asked to point to several things in this picture. Listen carefully because you will hear the directions only once from these headphones. Do not point until you hear the word go. Take a few seconds to look over the pictures before you are asked to point. Subtest 5, Calculation. I want you to make some numbers. Make the number 1 in this box. Make the number 3 in this box. I want you to do some math. Begin with number 1 and answer as many problems as you can. If you come to one you do not understand, just skip it and try the next one. Double check that one. What's 2 plus 4? Use your fingers. That is an incorrect administration of the test. You should not say anything to the students, just strictly what is whatever is written in blue. That is the only thing you should be saying. You shouldn't give them hints when they're doing something incorrect. You shouldn't praise them when they're doing something correct. So just strictly read what the blue writing is on the assessment, on the test, and that's it. Subtest 6, Math Fluency. I want you to work some simple arithmetic problems. Start here. When you finish a row, go to the next one and work each problem until you finish the page. Then go to the top of the next page. If you cannot think of an answer, skip that item and move to the next one. Work as fast as you can without making a mistake. Be sure to watch the signs. If you do make a mistake, just cross out the answer you do not want. You will have 3 minutes. Tell me if you finish before I say stop. Go ahead. Stop. Put your pencil down. The Woodcock Johnson III has many strengths. One strength is that it has very clear directions. It tells you exactly how to administer the test and what words you need to use. A weakness for this test is that if the students are too low, it will not give you an accurate score. For example, there are a few kindergarteners that I know that perform too low for this test. The Regans, which is another test of achievement, would work better for these students because it has more basic skills subtests. A few test recommendations that I would give for this test is to make sure you are fully familiar with the test and the subtest. Make sure that you read strictly what is on the subtest, the blue words. You also want to make sure that you don't make any expressions or facial expressions or tell the students anything that would lead them to change their result or lead them to know the correct answer when they had originally had the incorrect answer or vice versa. You also want to make sure that you provide an environment that is appropriate for testing the student. Make sure there's no students in the classroom. Make sure that there are no noises that will distract them. Any distractions, remove them. You also want to make sure that you are giving them your full attention. Don't be over here texting while giving the test, answering calls. just anything. Make sure that you're focused on this test and don't do anything to distract the students. And that is it for my video. Thank you